Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and this must be the most massive papaya plant I've ever seen anywhere in Spain. Look at those people, they are walking a couple meters in front of it and they are being dwarfed by it. The guy is what, maybe 170, that would be what, 5.5 feet, which makes this papaya plant about 7 meters tall, or what would this be, like 25 feet, something like that. It's definitely one of the most massive papayas I've ever seen. It's by far not the tallest one. I've seen a much taller one in Kalimantan in Indonesian Borneo, and I've seen two other really huge papayas, one in Sabah in Malaysian Borneo and one in Portugal, which could rival this one in massiveness. Don't eat me, little doggy, I don't taste good. And this one has even dropped some loot here. I guess it dropped it on the street and somebody put it in the hole in the fence so that I guess the owners can collect it. With this papaya plant, actually it's not so much the height that's intriguing me, it's more the massive trunk. And this is not a tree, folks, this is a giant herb. A giant herb that's 7 meters tall with a trunk diameter of 40 to 50 centimeters. Look at that, compare it to the leather. Also compare it to the plastic chair. I mean, those are standardized throughout the world. However, in Asia they have them in small, but here in Europe there is only the big version. So giant, massive tree. I think it's much thicker than the one I saw in Portugal. Might be about the size of the one I saw in Sabah just a couple months ago. Definitely one of the biggest one I've seen anywhere in the world. And as I said, it's that much more impressive because it's not a tree, it's a herb. I've cut down a couple papaya trees in my time, and it's basically like cutting a slightly tougher carrot. So it's not really wood, it's a juicy material which is quite easy to cut, but it's also quite a wet business. Yeah. Not sure if this is a hermaphrodite or a female tree. That's an important distinction. Usually the hermaphrodite ones have better fruits. I guess it's a hermaphrodite one because the fruits are more... tell me what you think. It has many side branches. I don't know how many, probably well over 50. That's typical for really massive papayas. It has suffered from the winter cold. They told, some people in a botanic garden told me, the papayas, they totally like hot, humid conditions. They can also stand cool, dry conditions, but cool and humid is a bad combination. Even if they are not damaged by frost, if it's like plus 5 degrees and very humid, they get fungal diseases and stuff. So this one has survived quite well. I saw a lot of papayas around here that lost all their leaves. This still has a lot of its old leaves, also although they are damaged. It's also producing lots of new leaves. It also kept a lot of its old fruits and they ripened throughout the winter and spring. And there are lots of flowers popping up. How many fruits? This thing, even now, when this tree is at its weakest, when this plant is at its weakest, sorry, not tree plant, I think it might have almost 100 fruits. Each one 300-400 grams, half a kilo. The biggest ones might be about a kilo. So crazy loot. It's standing here in a garden in Almunecar on the Costa Tropical amidst a mix of subtropical and more temperate things like Orinoco bananas, lemons, figs, grapes, beets, fava beans, tomatoes, loquats and so. But it's by far the biggest and most productive thing here. I think it's so productive that And it's so tall that I'm pretty sure they don't even manage to harvest it. Which is a pity, because I'm sure that a lot of people would pay good money for those fruits. I would pay good money for this fruit. If it was on the ground, I would totally take it, but since somebody already put it there, I'm reluctant to do it now. Here once more, let's compare the size to this family. Remember, those people are in front of the tree, so they look bigger in comparison. This lady now is at about, I always say tree, well, I mean it is the size of a tree. So this lady is now at about the same distance to me. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to grasp its full size. Also, what's crazy about papaya plants, you might think that they will grow, that the biggest ones will be in really sheltered locations. I mean, this is kind of sheltered. There are houses around it, there are a couple trees around it, but it's not like it's in a really sheltered location, in a really protected microclimate, and still it grew to that size. Impressive. Tell me, folks, what do you think about this giant papaya plant? What do you think about papaya cultivation in Europe? By the way, when I was visiting this area regularly 20 years ago, papayas here were not a thing. 20 years ago I found them in one single garden, just like I found Cavendish bananas in one single garden. And now papayas have become almost a mainstream fruit. I totally approve of this. Tell me what you think about papaya cultivation in Europe, folks. Tell me what you think about the size of this thing. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich city of Almunecar, the capital of the Costa Tropical, the tropical coast of Europe. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.